Top 5, but no titles. Ranked with the best, yet still searching for major silverware. It's a paradox that would break most players. But for Lorenzo Musetti, it's just the beginning of a much bigger story. On January 12, 2026, the Italian broke into the top 5 of the ATP rankings for the first time in his career. He became just the third Italian man in history to reach this milestone, joining Adriano Panatta and Jannik Sinner, 2 Italians in the top 5 at the same time. That's never happened before in the history of the ATP rankings since it began in 1973. But here's the thing that makes Musetti's achievement so fascinating. He hasn't won a tournament since 2022, not a single title in over 3 years. So how did he get here? What separates this version of Musetti from the one we thought we knew? And why does the tennis world believe something is different this time? This is the story of how Lorenzo Musetti went from unrealized potential to top 5 contender, and why the man we're seeing now is not the same player you think you know. Let's start where every great story should, with belief. At the Hong Kong Open, players were asked to make their wildest predictions for the 2026 season. Most gave diplomatic answers. Some hedged their bets. But Musetti? He looked straight into the camera and declared his ambition to the world. There will be a new Grand Slam champion. I hope it's me. This isn't just confidence, it's a declaration, and it's backed by context that makes it even more compelling. The man has watched his compatriot Sinner dominate the sport while standing just outside the spotlight. He's seen Alcaraz collect multiple Grand Slams. And now, ranked number 5 in the world, Musetti believes his time has arrived. The tennis community is buzzing. Reddit threads are filled with fans who want to see Musetti finally break through. They've watched him reach finals. They've seen the shot-making brilliance. They want the payoff. But let's be real about the competitive landscape. Experts in betting markets still place Alcaraz and Sinner ahead for the majors. ESPN's way too early predictions list Musetti among the best chances for a first-time Slam champion, alongside Zverev, Shelton, and Rune. But he's not the favorite. His longtime coach, Simone Tartarini, who has guided Musetti since he was 8 years old, believes in his potential. Speaking about their journey together, Tartarini said, "The best version of Musetti is yet to come." And recent reports suggest Musetti has added Jose Perlas to his coaching team, bringing in experience from the highest levels. Perlas previously coached Carlos Moya to world number 1. So what makes Musetti different this time? Why should we believe this prediction isn't just hope? Because the numbers tell a story of evolution. And evolution is exactly what we're about to break down right after this quick request for you to subscribe to my new channel. It really helps me to keep bringing you great tennis content. So how did Musetti get to the top 5? The simple answer, consistency. The real answer, a year-long display of competitiveness at the highest level. Let's break down his 2025 season, because it was historic by every measure. Musetti reached his first ATP Masters 1000 final at Monte Carlo in April. He followed that with semi-finals at Madrid, Rome, and Roland Garros, 3 of the most prestigious tournaments in tennis. He made the quarterfinals of the US Open. He reached finals at Chengdu and Athens. Musetti compiled a 45-21 match record in 2025. Before this season, he'd never recorded more than 40 tour-level wins in a single year. He also made his debut at the ATP Finals in Turin after Novak Djokovic withdrew, becoming part of the first duo of Italian men to qualify for the season finale simultaneously. And get this, Musetti entered the top 10 for the first time in May 2025, then climbed all the way to number 6 by June, before finishing the year at number 7. His Hong Kong final run in early 2026 pushed him to 5. This isn't lucky points. This isn't riding a wave of one good tournament. This is week in, week out performance at the elite level. He beat Alex de Minaur multiple times on clay in Masters events. He took down Andrei Rublev in Hong Kong to seal his top 5 breakthrough. And he pushed Alcaraz to the limit in multiple big matches. The level is real. The ranking is earned. But here's where things get complicated. Lorenzo Musetti hasn't won a tour title since October 2022. Let that sink in for a moment. Top 5 player, no titles in over 3 years. His last victory came at the Tennis Napoli Cup in October 2022, where he defeated Matteo Berrettini in straight sets without dropping a set all tournament. Before that, he'd captured Hamburg in July 2022. Since then, 7 ATP finals reached, 0 trophies collected. Monte Carlo 2025 lost to Alcaraz in 3 sets. Chengdu 2025 lost to Shang Juncheng in straight sets. Athens 2025 lost to Djokovic in 3 tight sets. Hong Kong 2026 lost to Alexander Bublik in straight sets. And if we look back further, Umag 2024 lost to Francisco Cerundolo. Barcelona 2023 lost to Casper Ruud. The tennis community has taken notice of this brutal pattern. Multiple sources highlight that Musetti's drought is particularly unusual for someone playing at such a high level. This is the paradox at the heart of Musetti's story. He's good enough to consistently reach finals. He's beating top players to get there. But when the moment arrives, when the trophy is within reach, something hasn't clicked. Is it mental? Is it tactical? Is it simply the misfortune of facing players having the best weeks of their lives? The answer is probably all of the above. Against the very top, Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, Musetti holds a 526 career record against top 5 opponents as of late 2025. That's the gap between top 5 ranking and Grand Slam champion. But here's why this isn't all bad news. Musetti keeps reaching these stages. He's not flaming out in early rounds. He's not collapsing under pressure. He's consistently putting himself in position to capture the biggest titles, and every final appearance is another opportunity to learn what it takes to close. The question isn't whether Musetti can compete with the best. He's already doing that. The question is, can he close? If you watch Lorenzo Musetti play, you're watching art. The one-handed backhand, widely considered one of the best on tour. The drop shots that seem to defy physics. The defensive slices that give him time to reset. The variety that makes every point feel different. Musetti plays tennis like a chess grandmaster plays chess. He's thinking 3 shots ahead, setting traps, using angles that most players don't even see. But let's talk about where he actually wins matches. Clay is his kingdom. In 2025, Musetti went 19-4 on clay courts, an 82.6% win rate. Dating back to July 2024, he's won 25 of 30 matches on dirt. That Monte Carlo final run, those semi-final appearances at Madrid, Rome, and Roland Garros, all clay. His game is perfectly suited to the surface. The sliding, the extended rallies, the ability to construct points, it's where his chess-like approach thrives. On hard courts, the story is more complicated. Musetti went 26-17 on hard in 2025. Still solid, but a 60.5% win rate. For comparison, Sinner and Alcaraz win around 75-80% of their hard court matches. And indoor hard courts. That's where things get interesting. His career stats suggest Musetti has struggled indoors relative to other surfaces. In 2025, he went 7-5 indoors, with his best results being a runner-up finish in Athens and a semifinal in Vienna. And think about this, 2 of the 4 Grand Slams are on hard courts. The ATP Finals, indoor hard. Many of the most crucial tournaments, hard courts. If Musetti wants to win a major, he needs to level up on this surface. But here's the encouraging part. He's actively working on it. His forehand, once considered a weakness, has transformed into a genuine weapon. He's also adapted his service motion. In July 2022, Musetti switched from a foot-up technique to foot-back delivery, adding more power and consistency. The variety remains his calling card. Musetti hits drop shots more than almost anyone on tour. Only Alcaraz rivals him in this department. He'll throw in serve and volley tactics. He'll mix in underarm serves when you're not looking. His game isn't about overpowering you, it's about dismantling you piece by piece. Let's address the elephant in the room. At the 2025 ATP Finals, Musetti acknowledged feeling physical fatigue. In his semifinal match against Alcaraz at Roland Garros, He was forced to retire in the fourth set while trailing 4-6, 7-6, 6-0, 0-2 due to a leg injury, a tough blow after winning the opening set. Before Hong Kong in early January 2026, Musetti retired from an exhibition match against Zverev due to hip issues after losing the first set tiebreak. These aren't good signs when you're trying to convince people you can win a Grand Slam. Tennis at the highest level is brutally physical. Best of 5 sets in the heat of Melbourne or New York. 5 matches to win a Masters 1000. The grind of a full season with minimal breaks. Sinner and Alcaraz aren't just talented. They're physical specimens who can maintain elite level for 3, 4, 5 set marathons. Djokovic built a career on conditioning and durability. For Musetti to break through, he needs to prove he can handle the physical demands when it matters most. The mileage and intensity at the top level are real. Deep Grand Slam runs require 7 best-of-5 matches. That's 25 to 35 sets of world-class tennis in 2 weeks. Musetti's game style, heavy on movement, defensive retrieving, and long rallies, is demanding on the body. He can't rely on big serves and free points like some players. This is the challenge. This is what separates the top 5 from Grand Slam champions. So what's actually different about Lorenzo Musetti in 2026? Let's start with consistency. From 2024 to 2025, Musetti's week-to-week reliability improved dramatically. He's no longer the talented kid who wins one week and loses first round the next. He's making deep runs consistently, he's protecting his ranking, he's showing up physically and mentally ready to compete every time he steps on court. He qualified for the ATP Finals in Turin. He made multiple Masters semifinals. He reached a Grand Slam semifinal at 2 different majors, Wimbledon 2024 and Roland Garros 2025. He also won an Olympic bronze medal in Paris 2024, becoming the first Italian tennis player to win an Olympic medal in 100 years. This isn't flash-in-the-pan success. This is sustained excellence. But let's talk about the maturity piece. Yes, he's still chasing his first title since 2022. Critics point to a mental or tactical gap in finals. But here's the counterpoint. He keeps reaching those finals. 7 times since October 2022. That takes mental fortitude. The ability to win 5-6 matches in a row against elite competition just to get there. The early narrative around Musetti was all about raw talent and beautiful shot making. He plays the game the right way. He's got all the shots. If only he could put it together. Now, the narrative is shifting. He's a top 5 competitor with strategic growth. His tactical awareness has expanded. He shows patience and depth in his rallies. He's not just the kid with the pretty one-hander anymore. He's a legitimate contender. And let's talk perception versus reality. People still see Musetti as unfulfilled potential, but he's already achieved more than 99% of professional tennis players ever will. Olympic bronze medalist, Davis Cup champion with Italy in 2023, 2024, and 2025, top 5 ranking, multiple Masters finals, a father of 2 who's matured both on and off the court. The waste of talent narrative, it's outdated. This is a player evolving in real time. The old Musetti was brilliance without consistency. The new Musetti is brilliance with purpose. So what happens next? Let's break down what the tennis world thinks about Musetti's chances in 2026. Fan predictions. The Reddit community and casual tennis fans want to see Musetti break through. They want the Grand Slam prediction to come true. There's genuine belief that his time is coming. The experts are more cautious. ESPN's Grand Slam predictions still favor Alcaraz and Sinner to dominate the majors. Musetti is listed among potential breakthrough candidates, but not as the betting favorite. Alexander Zverev, despite his struggles, has more major final experience and has been knocking on the door. Ben Shelton has the big serve and American crowd support. Felix Auger-Aliassime finished 2025 strong and climbed to number 5. These are all dangerous competitors with similar Grand Slam ambitions. So what's actually possible? Here's my take. The title drought ends soon. Musetti started 2026 with a strong final run in Hong Kong, securing his top 5 ranking breakthrough. His early season momentum is real. His confidence is building. The pieces are falling into place. Roland Garros 2026 is his best chance. The clay season is where Musetti has proven he can beat anyone. If he can stay healthy through the spring, avoid Alcaraz and Sinner until late rounds, and convert a final, it's possible. The Australian Open might come too soon. Wimbledon remains tricky for him. The US Open is on hard court, which isn't his strongest surface. But here's the thing about Musetti that makes this prediction compelling. He's already proven he can go deep at majors. He beat top players to get there each time. If, and this is the crucial if, Musetti can translate deep runs into titles, if he can solve the Alcaraz-Sinner puzzle just once in a big moment, if he can stay physically healthy, then yeah, a Grand Slam in 2026 isn't impossible. It's still unlikely. Alcaraz and Sinner are that good, but unlikely isn't impossible. And sometimes sports rewards belief. Let's bring this full circle. When Lorenzo Musetti burst onto the scene, the narrative was simple. Unrealized talent. Beautiful tennis. Unfulfilled promise. The reality today is completely different. This is a top 5 player who has earned his ranking through year-long consistency. This is a semi-finalist at multiple Grand Slams. This is a player who beats top 10 opponents and makes deep runs at the biggest tournaments. Yes, the title drought is real. Yes, he needs to solve the puzzle of converting finals. Yes, the physical durability questions remain. But evolution isn't linear. Growth doesn't happen all at once. 3 years ago, Musetti was struggling to stay in the top 30. Today, he's in the top 5 and declaring his ambition to win Grand Slams. The man we're watching in 2026 is not the same Lorenzo Musetti who won Hamburg in 2022. He's stronger, he's smarter, he's more dangerous, and he believes he will be the new Grand Slam champion this year. Maybe it happens at Roland Garros. Maybe it happens at Wimbledon. Maybe it doesn't happen in 2026 at all. But one thing is certain, the Italian with the one-handed backhand and the championship belief isn't going anywhere. This is not the same Lorenzo Musetti. This is the evolution of a champion in progress. And 2026, it might just be the year everything changes. If you loved this deep dive into Musetti's evolution, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment with your bold prediction for Musetti in 2026. And remember, champions aren't born, they're built, one match at a time. See you in the next one.